Master the art of doing nothing, and everything gets done. True strength isn't push, it's flow. Welcome back to the Boundless Sovereign YouTube channel. We are in our series on the Tao Te Ching. We're reading from the John Minford translation. We are on chapter 43, The Softest Thing. The softest thing in all under heaven outstrips the hardest. Non-being enters no space. I know the benefit of non-action, the wordless teaching. Few in all under heaven attain it. The River Master's translation, as with our daily ritual, we'll be reading from his commentary on the Tao Te Ching. The softest is water, the hardest is metal and stone. Water bores its way through the strong and the hard. It penetrates all. The Tao is non-being. It has neither form nor substance. It comes and goes. It departs from and enters into no space. It connects with the light of spirit. It nourishes every living creature. The Tao is non-action. With it, the myriad things are transformed. They become effortlessly whole, in accord with the soul of itself. This is the true benefit of non-action. This is the soft and gentle Tao, a wordless teaching learned from self-cultivation. When the nation is ruled through non-action, the myriad folk will benefit. They will no longer suffer and toil. But few rulers in all under heaven attain this. Few rule self or nation through non-action. Wow, here we are in this chapter 43, The Softest Thing. It is so counterintuitive to what is our modern Western society has led us to believe, that we must attain things through force and through actions and through planning and through decisive intention and will. The truth of it is it has very little to do with all of those things, and you can attain the greatest things through this idea of non-action, or as I like to refer to it, as inspired action. And again, what is inspired or non-action? What does that really mean? And when you are able to attain the flow of the Tao, which is this sense of being in the moment, not so intent on the past or the future, and you're able to allow yourself to drop away the emotions, the feelings, the beliefs, the habits, and just experience the present as it is currently without judging it. And then you take, you take what I would again define as inspired action, which is you await the right thing at the right time to do. And sometimes it means doing nothing until that moment appears. And it is incredibly difficult, especially if you are, again, not in the present moment and you're focused on the future and you're trying to make something happen. It can feel like you're doing nothing and that nothing will occur. Now, the other part of that is that if the inspired action does arrive, the moment, and you don't take the inspired action, then again, nothing will happen. So it first starts with getting into the state, the present state, the present awareness, which is, there's a myriad of ways to do that, mostly focused in terms of meditation. Helps to get you there. It takes can take a lot of time, especially if you're noticing that you have a lot of emotional, traumatic baggage. It can be very difficult. Although when you do get to that moment of peace and serenity, that's just there, and it's like exercising a muscle, and you can get to a point where it becomes second nature, if you will. And it does take time to develop that second nature feeling, but it is possible and it can be done. Meditation is a great way to do it. Guided meditation is a great way to start, focusing on your breath, experiencing the flow and the quietness. And a lot of guided meditations can help you to recognize that in yourself. It's not easy, especially, again, if you have a lot of things going on, things that are kind of weighing you down. I like this part from the River Master here. When the nation is ruled through non-action, the myriad folk will benefit. This is so true. This is like when the leader is able to take only inspired action and leading through their sense of being and allowing the present moment to unfold in its natural way, you start to, like, things will start to just kind of work out. It's funny, actually, because I was at church this morning, and I do go to church, Christian Pentecostal New City is what it's called, church in Great Falls, and it's like any other Pentecostal Christian kind of non-denominational church. And they talked about this a little bit, about this flowing with God through faith. They talked about it through the idea of faith. And that if you have faith in God and you do things that are of God, like being of service, that God will provide for you. And it's the same ideas that we're talking about here, which is really, to me, is really interesting. And this relates back to the perennial wisdom, which you can see the thread of in many, if not all, traditions related to trying to explain the experience of God. And so today's sermon was about that, and it did really make me realize how similar a lot of these traditions are, and how beingness and allowing yourself to be in the moment and to have that faith in the flow, the Tao, God, etc., etc. It's the same idea. It's all the same idea. And the unfolding kind of always gives you, if you're in the flow of it and not forcing, Spirit will unfold in a way where all the things that you think you need to go get, right, come to you in a very natural and very simple and easy way. And it's this idea of moving in not directly at finances. There's one thing too that they mentioned in the Bible during the sermon that they talked about. I don't remember the verse exactly, but the idea that you can't serve two masters, and that you can only serve God or money. You can't serve both. And what you find is if you serve this idea of money or finances or just monetary systems, right? That you can't also serve God. If you serve God, the Tao, the Spirit, the universe, pick your term, again, perennial wisdom, then all of the things that you think you need, including financial well-being, food, shelter, clothing, will come to you in a natural way that you can't predict, that you cannot predict. And that is, to me, this, again, a lot of what we've talked about so far in these chapters is that if you can get to the present moment and flow with the flow of Spirit, that you can have access to all the things that you could ever want, and they will come to you incredibly naturally. One last point here. Few rulers in all under heaven attain this. Few rule self or nation through non-action. And it's because, again, especially in the modern world, we think we've got to go after the things that we want, that we don't just get the things we want by allowing the flow of life to happen, right? And if we can get to this present moment and accept our lot, right? Another biblical reference, then the things that we thought we had to go after come to us very naturally. Again, my life has been just one experience of this after another, and I'll give you a few examples. One, my financial picture over the period of the last 5 years has been it was tumultuous 5 years ago. I was damn near close to bankruptcy, coming out of a divorce, and 5 years later have now settled all of those issues and come to a very positive place, right, in career and finance. And I think a lot of that was working through traumatic experience, negative emotions, holding all of these things in the body, bringing awareness to them. And over that period also just focused very heavily on peace and service and finding ways to serve others. Again, this is a lot of the motivation for this YouTube channel, is to serve the spirit in a way by talking about these things and helping to connect dots for folks, so that hopefully that they can listen and hear and see and understand and implement and act in the world in a positive way. And the more I focus on being aligned with spirit, meaning being at peace in the present moment and just taking the right actions at the right times, that everything I could ever want is given or blessed to me. And I realized that the more I focus on the spirit and doing things in the name of the spirit with no motivation for anything else, that abundance continues to come to me without any real strong effort, right? Yeah, it is an incredible thing if you can get to this point. So hey, I am glad that you were able to join us here on the Boundless Sovereign for this chapter 43. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe to the channel. It only helps us to get the word out to more people, and so that I can share these messages with folks that could really use it. So I appreciate you all, and we'll see you all in the next chapter, chapter 44 of the Tao Te Ching.